My dear friends, I'd like to welcome you all to today's webinar and thank you all for being here. A couple of weeks back, we had a fascinating webinar entitled Living Beyond the Body. Now, to get the most from today's webinar and the self-healing technique I'm going to share with you, which is actually quite profound, please make sure you watch the video of Living Beyond the Body on our YouTube channel. Watch it as early as you can so that everything you learn today will become complete. I don't have the time to repeat what is in that webinar, but I'll try my best to bring you up to speed, because that webinar provides us with a critical understanding of life. We've also extracted the guided meditations from the webinar and put them on YouTube as a practice tool for those of you who would like to practice the meditation frequently. Now, I got a message from several people that they love the meditations, but when they watch it on YouTube, after 5 minutes, the advertisements click in and their focus is broken. So I just want to let you know that we will be putting all the guided meditations on Spotify so that we don't run into that problem, just FYI. So just to bring you up to speed on what we covered in the last webinar, which is the part one of this topic, we examined the question, is your body only the front door to your true existence? We discussed the incredible makeup of our body, as well as the vast, limitless landscape that lies beyond the body for us to harness and experience. Through the journey of the 10 stages of the soul, we went in depth towards understanding the universal truth that we are life, and all creation around us, animate and inanimate, is life. One life that is present in everything, from us to the universes and beyond. And this life is timeless, it is eternal, it is endless, and it is ever continuous. It has no beginning and no end. And we as human beings are an amazing, powerful expression of life, like all creation that surrounds us, not just on Earth, but even in the furthest of universes out there. While our material forms have a beginning and a perceived end, life itself is ever continuous. We material beings can destroy each other, but life itself is indestructible. And this fact is attested to by a broad range of scriptures and spiritual teachings from across the globe. And I'll share 4 very short examples with you to build your understanding of life from this context. Firstly, in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna describes the soul, which is life, and he beautifully says, "The soul is neither born, nor does it ever die. And having once existed, does it ever cease to be?" So it is always present. The soul is without birth, eternal, immortal, and ageless. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. This verse explicitly separates the destructible body from the indestructible life principle, which states that death only affects the body, not life itself. Next, in another verse of the Gita, Sri Krishna says, "You should know that which pervades the entire body is imperishable. Nothing can ever cause the destruction of this eternal being. None is able to destroy the imperishable soul, the imperishable life." Third example, and this is a good one, of indestructible life that comes from the New Testament. In Hebrews 7:16, there is a reference to Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, which says, "He having become a priest not on the basis of a law of physical requirement, but according to the power of an indestructible life. Again, same words, indestructible life. And this reference comes from when the early Christians looked at the risen Christ and they said, this is a different kind of life altogether. Death couldn't keep it. And this life, which is not a human bloodline, is why he stands forever as priest for everyone. So in the New Testament, also it's beautifully expressed, the indestructible, eternal nature of life. And I also love the way it's associated with being a priest, because what does a priest do? Share knowledge, and life is also embodies knowledge. So my dear friends, the definition of life, as we have covered in our last webinar, is supported by lots of scriptural references and spiritual teachings that have come down to humanity from time immemorial. And finally, on this point, Maulana Rumi says two very beautiful sentences. He says, "Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion." To understand our universal nature, as Rumi so beautifully expresses it, I will briefly repeat the example I shared in the last webinar, which is about an example of my wife and me. And let us say we want to examine ourselves from full size down to the minutest level. So we decide to do it by looking at our hands. And we decide to take a photograph of her hand and my hand. So at full size, you look at the photograph, you can say that's my hand, and you can tell that's her hand. It's very obvious from size and many other characteristics. So we say, okay, let's go down one level. Let's take an X-ray. We take an X-ray, and now you just see her bone and my bone. But you can still tell this bone is longer than the other, so that must be him and that must be her. Fair enough. So we go down another level. We take an MRI of our bone. Now it's not so clear, because an MRI is sections through the bone. Now it's more difficult to tell which hand is hers and which hand is mine. So we go down one more level. We take a section of our bones and examine them under a high-powered electron microscope that goes down to the quantum particle level. What do we see? We see particles moving, and they're in constant motion, particles. You look at my particles, you look at hers, they are exactly the same. Throw into this the particles of a rock, and you will find that the particles of the rock look like and are moving exactly the same way as my bone and her bone. Then we say, all right, let's take a look at a meteor. And these have been photographed with quantum microscopes. And the meteor has the same particles as the rock on the earth, as my bone, as her bones. And then take moon dust. Moon dust also has the same particles, like the meteor, like the rock, like her bone, like my bone. We all have the same particles, whether we are on Earth or we are away in the universe. We all have the same particles, and these particles are all constantly moving. So my dear friends, at the quantum level, your particles and my particles are exactly the same. We are all one. And if we look at the particles of a tree, or a rock, or a meteor, or moon dust, they are all the same particles. So you and I, and all of us, all of creation, have the same particles as everything on Earth and in the universe. And this now can be scientifically seen. And all the particles are moving. And what is making them move? It is life, the one and the same life that is present in all of us. Doesn't that reveal what a special creation we all are? Each one of us sharing the same material and spiritual identity with everything on earth and in the universe. And that's what Rumi meant by saying, stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. The particles are in motion. Another important point we covered in the previous webinar was about our true physical makeup. Are we what we see, or are we a lot more than that? Did you know that the hydrogen atom is 99.8% empty space and 0.2% physical matter? Water is 99.8% empty space. And so a physical form of water that you see is only 0.2% of its totality. Your body is 99.8% space, as are all physical forms that we see in our material world. So our material existence is only 0.2% of what we really are. And in our whole journey in this world, it is all about experiencing only 0.2% of what we really are. That's where we have gotten to so far. We perceive and experience all things material through our material mind, wherein resides our material consciousness. But this mind and material consciousness, they are temporary. When we die, they cease to exist too. If I were to ask anyone today about their lives, they will relate with great detail what resides in their material consciousness, which sadly is only 0.2% of their true reality. We came in this world to experience 100% of our reality, but we are all swimming in that little tiny pond of the 2%, 0.2%. Now, the eternal, ever continuous life we are talking about pervades the 99.8% empty space, as well as the 0.2% material matter that we see. And this is a very important point to recognize when trying to visualize what we are truly made up of. We are predominantly empty space, which we don't see and hence we ignore. And yet, our incredible life fills this space. And our physical body is only a minuscule form of its expression. This is a very important point when it comes to drawing upon the powers of life to heal our body. To help you visualize it, in simple form, think of a blue bead the size of a grain of wheat. Think of a blue bead the size of a grain of wheat, very small, 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters. And this bead is suspended in the middle of a glass of water. It is halfway down the glass, so there's water above it and water below it. It is surrounded by water. Your body is the blue bead, and the water is life. Now, let us internalize this in greater depth. So close your eyes for a few moments, and let us internalize this vision. So relax and breathe freely. Let go of all your tensions, your worries, your emotions. Release them all and be at complete peace. Be at complete peace. Now look at this glass full of water, crystal clear water. The glass is filled with crystal clear water. and you're looking directly at it at your eye level. And in this water, there is a tiny blue bead. It is the size of a grain of wheat, and it is suspended right in the center of the glass. There's water above it, water below it. Look at this glass and look at the deep blue bead. And that blue bead is your body. And it is surrounded by lots of water, which is life. Now, the physical glass that contains the water now begins to expand. And it is expanding in all directions, in all dimensions. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes the ocean. There is no glass, just the crystal clear water of the ocean, with the tiny blue bead immersed in this water. The bead is still the same size as when it was in the glass of water, but the glass has now become the ocean. Take a moment and look at the tiny bead suspended in an ocean of water. Place your eyes under the water and look straight at the blue bead surrounded by infinite water. The little blue bead that you are looking at is your physical body, and the vast water is life. And you are both. And that, my dear friends, is your true reality. So here, you, the bead, are minuscule. Like I said, the 0.2%, surrounded by space, which is the ocean of life. Now remember, the blue bead was created by the ocean. It was created by life. So it is simply an expression of the ocean. And when you seek to heal the blue bead, you invoke the powers of the ocean of life to heal the body that life has created. Let us take a moment to digest this beautiful vision. Your physical body, the little blue bead, the vast ocean that is life, and you are all of it. What you think you are, which is the blue bead or blue grain of wheat, and what you really are, which is the infinite ocean of life that hosts the blue bead. That is your reality. You are all of it. And the vision you are looking at is your true reality. So you may open your eyes. It's a simple vision, but so explicit, so clear, so powerful. And in my first book, Reflections from the Origin, is a quote which says, "You are the fish that swims in the ocean, yet it is water that you seek." And in this vision that you just saw, you are the blue bead in the ocean, And the eternal life you are seeking, you already are. So now we can begin to realize the true vastness of our nature. We are life, the ocean of life, and we have a body which was created by life. And this body is also filled with life, because when the grain or the bead is in the water, it's also filled with, soaked up all the life and water. So this body is also filled with life. And this begins to reveal to us the power that resides within each one of us to create whatever we wish to create and to heal ourselves from whatever disorders we may be suffering from, be they physical, mental, or emotional. All we have to do is invoke healing of our body from the life that expresses it. And remember, our illnesses as we know them are usually diagnosed through pain, discomfort, or other forms of communication that our body uses to tell us, I am not well. And what do? We immediately kill the pain. We kill the messenger. But really we need to dig into the source of the pain. Why is it there? What is the body trying to tell me? And here in this world, we have been blessed with medical science that gives us so many diagnostic tools. But even medical science has its limitations. So while we use 100% of what medical science offers us, in addition, we have the option to go back to life itself that created us and sustains the body and seek the healing of the body from there. All our infinite healing capacities reside in life. And so we can draw from there to fully heal ourselves, whilst making the most of the medical help we are getting. So together, they are a great combination. Now, there are times when we feel uncomfortable with certain medical solutions that we are being offered for our illness. It happens to all of us. We are told this is the solution, but we don't quite feel right about it. Take this discomfort seriously. Don't just obey. This discomfort is your body saying to you, no, this is not what I need. It is life saying to you, explore your options further and wider. After all, life says to you, I have given you intellect. Now use it to find the best solutions for healing your illness. And of course, intellect says to us, research deeper, but also in parallel, why not invoke healing from life itself? And that's the technique I would like to share with you today. In response to the profound question intellect has raised, why not invoke healing from life itself? So let's now get down to the technique itself. In the previous webinar, we practiced a meditation to connect ourselves with the life that makes up our body. But that was only step one, and we will repeat that step today. And a very important step to practice daily, to empower ourselves and to live an enlightened life. Step two, which we will practice now, right after step one, is using this connection to invoke healing of whatever it is that is ailing us, whether we know what it is or not. That is not important. For life knows exactly what the problem is and what the solution should be. So let us step out of our limited material mind and surrender to the infinite powers of life to heal whatever is unwell. Surrender is the key word. We don't drive the process. We surrender to life and let life heal what it has created. So are we ready to practice the self-healing meditation? I mean, we have been working with self-healing since 1995, and Karima and I have traveled all over the world and worked with thousands and thousands of people. including many, many, many who medical science could not help any further. But the minute they tapped into that internal power that each one of us possesses, they have been able to heal themselves. There are people with 30 days or 10 days or 20 days left to live. They are living 20 years later. So what we are going to learn is a very powerful technique, which I'm sharing for the first time today. So let us sit back, close our eyes, and breathe freely. Be completely relaxed. Let go of all your emotions, all your tensions. Let them all leave your being and be at peace. Breathe in peace. Breathe out peace. As you repeat the word in your mind, peace. You are at peace, pure peace. And now let us go completely still. Still with the body, still with the mind, still with all our thoughts. As we repeat the word stillness. Stillness. You are in stillness, in peace. And we now repeat the word silence. 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 You are in peace. You are in pure stillness, in pure silence. Now place your hand on your heart and press against your chest until you can feel your heartbeat. Feel your heartbeat. Your heartbeat is life. With your hand on your heart, you repeat, my heartbeat is life. My heartbeat is life. My heartbeat is life. Now think of the blood that is flowing through your body. It is flowing everywhere, like a river, reaching every part of your body. Take a moment and look at this beautiful living river that is flowing in your body. It is life. As you repeat the words, my bloodstream is life. My bloodstream is life. Now look at your two kidneys, one on each side of your spine. They are filtering your river and cleansing it. Your kidneys are living. Your kidneys are life. As you repeat the word, my kidneys are life. My kidneys are life. Now look at your bones. They hold your whole body together. Your bones are living. They have life. Their cells are all functioning to keep your body supported. As you repeat in your mind, my bones are life. My bones are life. And now zoom out and look at your entire body from within, your entire body. And repeat, my body is life. My body is life. And now we acknowledge the purpose of our body with the words, my body is my blessed vehicle. As you repeat, my blessed vehicle, my blessed vehicle. My blessed vehicle. My body is my blessed vehicle, my gift from life. As you repeat, my gift from life. My gift from life. I seek healing of my blessed vehicle. I seek healing of my blessed body. Heal by the grace of life. As you repeat the words, heal by the grace of life. Heal by the grace of life. Heal by the grace of life. And now I seek healing of my blessed mind. Heal my mind. Heal by the grace of life. As you repeat, heal by the grace of life. Heal by the grace of life. And now I seek peace. I seek peace from healing of all my emotions. Heal my emotion. Heal by the grace of life. Keep repeating the words, heal by the grace of life. Heal by the grace of life. And finally, I offer deepest gratitude to life. Deepest, deepest gratitude. As you repeat in your mind the word gratitude. 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 You may open your eyes when you're ready. So, my dear friends, please practice this meditation, this healing meditation daily if you can. Even if you are completely healthy, practice this meditation daily so that you can remain physically, mentally, and emotionally healthy and enjoy the best quality of life that you rightfully deserve. Now, before we conclude, I would like to bring up two important points that we must add to our daily lives to help us to remain healthy. Firstly, now that you have recognized your reality, that you are life, the ocean, and your body is the bead, make sure you feed the body with living water. This is very important. Clean, fresh, living water. A large part of our health depends on the quality of the water that we drink and use. And a major portion of our disorders can be attributed to the consumption of poor quality water or water that has no life. Remember, you, the blue bead, are over 80% water. That's right, your body is over 80% water. So my advice would be to avoid drinking chemically altered water from taps. Even if you filter it with carbon or whatever else, that water has no life. Drink natural water from springs or underground reservoirs, because when water flows naturally against the Earth's electromagnetic field, it is recharged with life. And that is living water. So drink living water. Not all bottled waters are good or living. So do your research of the source of the water you are buying to drink. Many bottled waters are just filtered municipal water, which will not help nourish you. The fact that they are just purified does not necessarily nourish you. Find bottled spring water and look up where it comes from. It is well worth the investment in time and money. After all, your body is over 80% water, so it deserves to be nourished by the best, clean, fresh, living water. And my dear friends, give yourselves the gift of drinking good, natural, living water. You are worth it. Your family is worth it. Whilst we can argue that it is expensive, I would say, compared to the medical bills that can follow and the suffering that goes with it, this is a small investment to make. There's so much information available online of the waters you buy, so do your homework. Once you get used to drinking fresh, living water, you will even be able to develop a taste and a sense that will tell you if your water is suitable to your body or not. And it will come with time. You may go be traveling somewhere and you taste some water and go, no, that's not it. You will know. Your body will tell you. But you have to get rid of all the chemically altered waters and replace your body with fresh, healthy, living water. So this is one advice I couldn't emphasize more strongly. And secondly, the same goes with the food, for the food that you eat. Try to feed your body with the best quality of naturally grown foods, rather than mass-produced, chemical-rich, genetically modified processed foods. There are good quality, well-grown organic foods. Research them. And sure, you may pay more, but like water, your food is equally important. And the extra cost may be minuscule in comparison to the medical bills and suffering that can follow. Now, I won't go into this in detail today because there's lots of information available out there. So put in the time and the money to eat healthy. And eating healthy is not just a slogan. No. You are what you eat. And intellect, if asked, will agree with that statement. So with that, I'd like to conclude today's insight, and I hope you will all leave with renewed commitment towards being healthy. And if you are unwell, you will go and start healing yourself starting today. And I did not go into all other dimensions of being healthy, like physical exercise, etc. There's lots of good information you can decipher online on holistic, healthy living. So that homework I would leave to you. But most importantly, the best part of today, I believe, was realizing that we are the little blue bead or grain in the ocean of life. And that is our true reality. We are everything, the bead and the ocean. And now we have learned how to invoke healing from life. The rest is in your hands, my dear friends. I have passed on this knowledge which came to me for you this week, so my job is done. The rest is all with you. So with that, I'd like to thank you all very much for being here, bringing your positive energy, your light, your spirit to this webinar. And I pray that the light of our Creator may always be with you to help you, guide you, protect you, and love you, always. Keep smiling from the soul, always.